Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken and welcome back to another video. Today we are on the PTS with the brand new champion Saati. So what we're going to be doing today is breaking down her kit and how she works, also going over a few day zero builds for her, and also, first things first, we're going to look at her skins. I haven't really done this for, other champions who came out on the PTS, but I want to just kind of look through her skins and show you what she's working with, particularly the gold skin, in case you think you might want to grind for it. So here's default Saati, looking pretty interesting. She's got a very interesting character model, a lot of good stuff going on with the details and the clothing and stuff like that. It's pretty nice, honestly. It's pretty good quality. And then we've got the Iced Out skin, which is her exclusive skin. I believe this is the one which comes with the Season Pass. And she's taken her jacket off, and she looks like Pilot Suit Sky. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's okay. Honestly, a bit lackluster, this skin, if you ask me. Her Hotshot skin is pretty nice. It's orange, fiery. She's got a different pattern on her, her pants here. And it generally is just another high-quality looking skin for Saati. And then we've got her gold skin, which is more of a black skin, honestly. I definitely would not say this is on par with Vatu or even Ray's, but it's still a fine-looking gold skin, I guess. I do like the gold on her jacket. I think it looks very good. One thing I noticed, though, that has kind of killed the skin for me is that the gold on her weapon is a bit different than the gold on her jacket and her pants, which is also different from the gold on her boots. If you look at her boots, it's a different shade of gold. So, I'm not quite sure how I like that. I wish this gold were a little bit more like this gold, and then the gold on her pistol were also a little bit more like this gold. I don't know, but we also haven't seen the pistol in first person, and we probably won't see that for a while because no one's crazy enough to grind her to level 50, except another YouTuber, who's not me, so... But yeah, those are her skins. Now let's get into her base kit. Alright, so here we go. We have Saati. And the first thing you'll notice, apart from the fact that she has a pistol, is that she's got some triangles in the center of the screen. These are her pips. Yes, they're actually called pips. And she has 8 of them, and these are basically what she uses for her abilities instead of using cooldowns. Kind of similar to how Koga has 3 energy bars, and you use up an energy bar for each of his abilities. Now, each of Saati's abilities do cost different amounts of pips. So some will cost 2, some will cost 4, one will cost 3 with the talent. And yeah, they basically recharge. I think it's roughly 1 every 2 seconds. It doesn't explicitly say anywhere, unfortunately. So yeah, but yeah, she doesn't really have cooldowns, so you can use multiple abilities back to back to back, or you can use like the same ability twice in a row, stuff like that with a Saati, which I think is pretty cool. So her primary fire is, of course, her pistol. It actually has 7 ammo, not 8, but I'm running a card which gives me 1 extra ammo in my build, just kind of as a filler, and it is basically Curse Revolver, but worse. So it does 525 damage per shot, and it fires every half a second, so if I hold down the ability, you don't have to semi-auto it. I usually semi-auto these anyways, but you can just hold down the button and it'll fire like this. And yeah, it also has some decently steep fall-off. Like once we start getting at this range, like yeah, it's still doing about 50% damage to this range, which isn't terrible, but like the farther back we go, you just see it gets worse and worse and worse. We're doing 131 damage to that Victor over there. We are still able to hit them, and I think 131 is the max fall off, but it does get pretty steep. So you don't exactly want to snipe with Saati per se. You want to be kind of at medium range where you'll be getting most of your damage per shot. But yeah, it is just straight up a worse version of Curse Revolver, if we're being completely blunt about it. I mean, you can get more ammo with her, which is the one upside, so you don't have to reload as often as Curse Revolver. But yeah, and she can still 3-shot too. Like if you hit headshots, still pretty good. So yeah, and it is also very, very accurate. So those are the upsides to this weapon, even if it is, just Androxus, but slightly worse. But her next ability is very interesting. It is her coin flip. So you flip a coin into the air, and if it hits an enemy, it'll pass through them and it'll do 100 damage. So we can do this. Wow, that's crazy. And it'll consume 2 pips as well. So you can do 4 of these in quick succession. And, I mean, if you just leave it at that, this ability is pretty boring. But it's not just that. You flip it up into the air, and you shoot it, and it hovers in the air. And each shot you hit on the coin will redirect to the nearest enemy, and it'll do 225 damage. So it is auto-aim. Sort of. You still have to hit a skill shot on the coin. if you want to, you know, get that auto aim, and then you can just aim at the coin and get the free damage. But yeah, it does still require a skill shot to hit the auto aim in the first place. It's kind of a weird situation, and I don't know how I feel about it as someone who hates auto aim, because it's kind of auto aim, but also not really. But yeah, the nice thing about this though is that you can flip it like this, hit it, and you can hit people behind cover, and it's revealing people because of my talent. But yeah, it's basically cover denial. Oh. There we go. So we can do this. Boom, there we go. And we are hitting that victor without actually seeing him and him not actually seeing me. So you can use this to hit people behind walls, and we just straight up killed him. So that's pretty powerful. Now, when you do destroy the coin, right, it explodes and hits everything around it for 500 damage. So that is a pretty cool final thing once the coin is basically used up. Also, one thing you might have noticed in her trailer is that it basically redirected her bullet. Like, you basically shoot the coin, and then the bullet just goes off and travels in a different direction. So you would think, with that logic then, that the coin would apply on-hit effects, such as cauterize. Which you can see with her regular pistol. If we just shoot the Ying, she gets that green gas effect around her. That means we've applied cauterize. But if we hit her with the coin, there's no cauterize. So this ability is not free cauterize. You can't apply cauterize around a corner. It does not apply cauterize like Leon's auto aim. So that's another thing to note. You don't get cauterize, you don't get life rip off of the coin. Even though theoretically you might think it would, it doesn't. So that is another thing to note for those of you who might be wondering that. So her next ability is her Dead Ringer. Now what this will do is deploy a cardboard cutout. Yes, literally a cardboard cutout of Saati right in front of her, and it'll basically do 150 damage per shot. It'll fire decently quickly, but it'll only fire in a straight line. So it's kind of like a barrack turret, except it only shoots in one direction. And also, it makes her go invisible upon casting. See, we're invisible. So, yeah, fitting with, you know, the fact that she has S in her name, you know, S at the start of her name, and all the people with S in their name have, you know, invisibility. Skye, Shalane, Strix, etc. So, yeah, that is kind of cool. So yeah, you can use the Dead Ringer to kind of reposition undercover and use it as a decoy. Also, I've noticed it's bugged on the PTS currently. Like, it's supposed to continue shooting, but it doesn't. And I don't know why it does this in the shooting range, but I mean, it worked fine when we actually used it in game, so I really don't know what's going on here. But yeah, also another thing to note is that whenever an enemy shoots the Dead Ringer, they get revealed for 1 second per shot that hits it. So we can demonstrate that on this Cassie here. We put this Dead Ringer down, she's revealed, and then when she destroys it, she's revealed for 3.5 seconds. So yeah, this is also an ability to let you see people, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, the reveal on Dead Ringer is a pretty good utility item to have. I mean, it lets you know where enemies are if they shoot your Dead Ringer, and it'll also synergize with her ult, as we'll see in a little bit. But first, let's talk about her movement ability, which is called Blastback. Now, if you've played Overwatch, it'll probably seem very similar to Ash's knockback. Basically, if you get close to an enemy, then you will knock them back, and you'll also knock yourself back. If you're not near an enemy, you'll still knock yourself back, but if we get close to this Ying and just press it, there we go. So we get sent flying back, Ying gets sent flying back as well. Now, it's not like Ash's from Overwatch in the sense that you can't look down and get vertical mobility out of it. You do still go up a little bit, but looking down does not make you go super high into the air. And if we go into third person here for a second, which, by the way, is the command toggle client 3P, a lot of people ask me how to do that, and you can only do it in the shooting range, but yeah, you can go third person here. And we do this, she does actually do a backflip, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, this is basically a tool to let you get distance on your enemies. Basically, if you're close to an enemy, you'll send them back, you'll also send yourself back. Just kind of keep yourself at a distance. And it also consumes 4 pips, and I forgot to mention, but the Dead Ringer also consumes 4 pips. So, yeah, we go invisible. That's pretty neat. But anyways, her final ability is, of course, her ultimate. Now, this ultimate is pretty interesting. She supercharges her pistol and makes it so that it will pierce through the world and enemies. Basically, it goes through anything. Shields, deployables, Fernando, this Jaguar statue, and your next 3 shots will have this effect. They'll also do increased damage. So they'll do 777 damage, you know, lucky number 7, instead of the usual 525. So let's go ahead and use this here. We'll shoot through the Jaguar and hit that Fernando. Now you'll notice it does have some travel time to it. It is a projectile, but it goes through everything. So you can pierce multiple enemies in a row, you can pierce people, you know, behind walls, and of course, if they have been shooting your dead ringer, right, and they're revealed, or you're using the talent I'm using, which reveals people when you shoot the coin, then you can use those reveals to find people and blast them through the wall without ever having to take damage yourself. So, while Saati isn't exactly, you know, the queen pin of damage, if you will, she's no Leon, she's no Cassie when it comes to raw damage output, she does have that utility of having multiple ways to reveal people if you use a certain talent, and she can shoot through walls, and she has this cover denial with this. Basically, she has ways to do damage without actually ever having to take any damage herself. So that's kind of the unique thing about Saati, is the cover denial. Nowhere is safe from Saati, because she can hit you pretty much anywhere, even if it isn't that much damage. So that is her kit, but let's talk about her talents. So the talent I've been using for this showcase so far is called Heads or Tails. It's not her first talent, but it is the talent I've been using. So it makes it so that ricocheted shots, which are the shots to the coin, deal 200% more damage to shields, basically for your wrecker, reveal enemies for 1 second, which is what you've seen already, and heal Saati for 125 health, so she heals for basically half the damage output. Not bad, honestly. It brings some great utility. It's a second way to reveal people, which is, I think, the most important part of this talent, especially if you want to be ulting a lot. Improvised is her next talent. This is, I think, the first talent. The decoy is now more cost-effective to use in battle, so basically it consumes 3 pips instead of 4, and it will explode pretty much almost right after you deploy it. And it'll deal, yeah, that 500 damage to enemies within a 10-unit radius. So you can grab this. Doesn't really matter what build we go. I don't have a build for this yet, but we can basically walk up to these guys and deploy it. Tick, 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 boom. It explodes and deals damage. Deploy a second one. The explosion radius isn't that big, like you can see we didn't hit the ying with that one. But, I mean, we do this, combo it with, you know, some regular shots, we do get a bit more burst. This is basically her damage talent if you want to do just that extra bit of damage. Now you do lose out on the utility of having your decoy deployed for longer, which means enemies will be shooting it more, and getting revealed for longer. And of course you do lose out on that long-term damage over time, you know. If you really care about your decoy just shooting in one direction endlessly. But yeah, it's a burst talent, so that's pretty cool. And her final talent is Window of Opportunity. This is what I like to call big game, but for Saati. Basically, Blast Back now knocks enemies straight up, kind of like how Bounce House does, and enemies take 20% more damage from Saati for 1.5 seconds. Now I assume the knock up will also sort of act like Bucks does, where it cancels movement abilities, kind of like Ash's Shoulder Bash or Ceres' Shadow Travel, for example. So if that's the case, then that's pretty cool. And yeah, basically if you shoot immediately after using Blast Back, you can get 3 shots of bonus damage, but most of the time it's probably going to be 2, unless you're super duper skilled with Saati. Let's grab this. Let's grab my big game build, which has movement speed and stuff. We'll get into those later. And let's just try it. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot with the bonus damage. So you gotta fire your weapon like immediately as you shoot. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, we get a bunch of extra bonus damage. So that's pretty cool. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, I missed that shot, killing bad. But yeah. Pretty interesting. It's another form of damage talent. You have to get a little bit closer to your enemies, but the payoff is honestly not as much damage as the decoy talent. This talent really isn't actually that good now that I think about it. I mean, yeah, you get bonus damage on your next 3 shots, but you've got to be more skillful to land those, and I don't know. It's kind of weird. Because, yeah, you have to hit an enemy with that blast back or you're not getting the bonus damage. So, yeah, it's a talent. Personally, I'm of the opinion that the coin talent will bring her the most utility. But, of course, this is pretty much a day zero guide to Saati. We're basically just going over her abilities and giving my initial speculation on how she'll play. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all of her abilities. Let's get into a few builds I have for her and a few cards I like to mention as being really, really effective. So the first build I want to show off is for Heads or Tails. So we've got just absolutely and utterly ridiculous ultimate charge with Saati using these 2 cards here, Steady Predictions 5 and Sure Shot 5. Sure Shot 5 is basically just free morale boost, and then Steady Predictions gives us 5% ultimate charge after hitting our coin, which It's just ridiculous. It's a stupid amount of ultimate generation. And we've also got aggressive tips so the coin goes faster. It's just a card I like to have on Saati. And then we've got some extra HP and a little bit of extra ammo as well. These are basically just 2 fillers. You could replace these with whatever you want. But we can quickly just get rid of our ult real quick. Boom, boom, and boom. Now we have 1% ult charge, and let's see how fast we get our ult back. Flick the coin up into the air. Oh my goodness, we're already at a quarter of our ult. We're halfway done with our ult. Boom. Flick it up into the air. We almost have an ult. We pretty much have an ult. We have an ult. How fast was that? That was just lightning fast. That was ridiculous. So yeah, you only get about 3% ult charge for shooting the enemies, right? You can see it's not going up nearly as fast if we just unload into the Ying and the Fernando. Still going up pretty decently fast, don't get me wrong, but not as fast as if we hit the coin. Of course, if you do hit the coin, you're not getting that extra bonus damage. You are getting 50% lifesteal technically on the coin, but that 50% lifesteal is only 125, per shot. And that's only with the talent. And you are also getting a reveal, again, only with the talent. But yeah, it is less damage overall, it's just the one drawback, but it's still absolutely crazy amounts of ultimate charge, for sure, 100%. So that is pretty fantastic. The next build I want to show off is for Improvise. So, let's grab this, let's grab my Bomb King build, and we have Seek at level 5, which will basically increase the duration of Dead Ringer's reveal on destruction by 2.5 seconds. And it basically reveals whoever gets hit by the explosion, which is just nuts. And it's a very, very long reveal too. We've also got ultimate charge again after hitting our coin. You could swap this out with the other ult gen one if you don't plan on shooting your coin much, but I have this one in here because I plan on shooting my coin a lot. Aggressive tip again, designer armor again, bullet hopper again, just kinda nice fillers, honestly. I quite enjoy these cards a lot. So yeah, let's put down a Dead Ringer. And back here we can see that the reveal is affecting both of these guys who got hit by it, and it is a very long reveal. We can charge up our ults and pierce through these. And also the hitbox of the ult is pretty big. Like, we hit both of them with that, so... yeah, then we can place down another one. There we go. And they're revealed again. We hit the coin, we know 2 people are there, we can just shoot the coin. And then head back in. Here's this. We go invis and we run away. We can see Fernando there. He's still there. Hey, shoot him. Hey, there we go. Very, very long reveal. And honestly, this talent seems to be pretty good if you can actually hit your explosions reliably. There is a bit of delay and you have to get super duper close. But it is a free burst of 500 damage. If you can hit it, it's a reveal. It's just pretty solid. So the final build I want to showcase is for Window of Opportunity. Now, I don't think this one is going to be her best talent at all, unless they change something about it. But we do have a build for it anyways. I call it my big game build because the talent is basically like big game but worse. So we've got movement speed after activating Blast Back, so we can kind of run away faster if we need to, or just kind of dart around the enemies faster. We've got damage reduction after activating Blast Back. Now, you could also swap this one out for like movement speed after activating a kill or something like that, or you could put in ult charge here. Doesn't really matter. I just figured I'd try this out because damage reduction is nice, but this isn't a lot of damage reduction, and honestly, I would like it if they buffed this card. We also have ammo for hitting enemies with Blast Back, so we get 3 ammo, just in case we don't have ammo when we activate Blast Back, because we can get 3 shots buffed up by the damage if we time it fast enough. And again, we've also got Designer Armor, Bullet Hopper, because I like those cards. So, let's grab this, we'll do this, boom, boom, and he's dead. And we do move slightly faster. Boom, boom, boom. It's not like the craziest thing ever, but they are still cards kind of designed around her movement ability. So I figured we'd put them in there and just see how it works. And of course, these are day 0 builds, so these are definitely subject to change, and they are definitely going to change as I play more with Saati. But if you want a baseline for what I think a good build for Saati might be, starting out, then here you go. But anyways, that does just about wrap it up for today's video on Saati, the brand new damaged champion, with a pistol like Androxus's, and a movement ability like Ash from Overwatch, and an ultimate. That's not like McCree. Come on, you really thought I was going to say it's like McCree's ult? It's not like McCree's ult in the slightest. Shut up. But yeah, pretty interesting brand new champion. A lot of cover denial, which is great. And yeah, she's just pretty cool. So I'm excited to play with her more and see how she's like. But for now, I'm gonna leave it here. But anyways, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. Also, make sure to check out the Discord server and the Twitch channel, both of which are linked in the description down below. I stream regularly on Twitch, and you can find a whole bunch of people to play with on Discord, so go check both of them out. And of course, I will be uploading plenty of PTS content on the YouTube channel and Twitch channel, so don't miss out. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.